Hello, Crystal Palace, and welcome to the Upper Norwood Library Hub's Library Live Lunch. This is a place to share positive and local information and find out about our wonderful community in greater depth, whilst trying to keep us connected during this time. We are joined today by Laura Burton, who is the founder of Poster Boy London. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi. So, what is Poster Boy London?
So Poster Boy London is sort of an arts and crafts pop-up event market come exhibition. It's going to be in Dalston for 2 days on the 26th and 27th of September. And what it comprises is about 30 London artists and creators are bringing their work for us to show and sell over those 2 days, and it's all local crafts makers. We've got print artists, we've got jewelry makers, ceramicists, some textiles artists there, and t-shirts, all sorts, a real mix of things. So it's based on the kind of arts and crafts market format, but has been curated for social distancing.
So, how did it come about? What gave you the idea? What made you want to start?
Well, I run Poster Boy with my friend Tal, who we both work in the arts as our sort of in real life jobs, and with theatre being a bit non-existent at the moment, we put our heads together a little bit about what we would do instead to kind of keep our minds ticking over. And Tal is an illustrator as well, and we realised quite quickly that we missed arts and crafts markets. We missed her being able to exhibit. So we came up with Poster Boy, and then very quickly realised that an arts and crafts market wouldn't work with the numbers of people that you need to get in and how many people would be showing their work. So we used our arts background to think about how we would put something on that would benefit local crafts makers, and this is what we came up with, something that's a bit different, has responded to the world we live in now, but is still about showing people's work and small businesses' creations.
Have you seen like a big, you say you come from an arts background, has there been a big effect on like that background because of the pandemic, and then that has caused you to want to create something like this?
Yeah, so both of us specifically work in theatre, and we do some other things along the side, but are freelance theatre stage managers, and theatre stopped on the 16th of March, just closed the doors, finished. And both of us were due to have some pretty decent contracts throughout this time, and everything has gone. And now I think recently it was kind of announced that most pantos are now postponing until next year. So in terms of theatre work, there's almost nothing until at least 2021 now. So not only did we feel that we very quickly needed to find something to do in terms of new jobs, we also were just desperate to kind of keep something of our artistic backgrounds, keep something of the kind of arts organisation in our lives, because nobody really goes into theatre unless they love it and want to work hard in that sort of area. It's an odd job to do. So yeah, we missed it. We really missed the kind of social aspect of it as well, because on a day-to-day basis you just work with hundreds of people, and that has gone. Our worlds have just gone tiny as a result of this. So this is a good opportunity to meet lots of people as well, and to sort of be a part of a community a bit, which the pandemic has very much removed. Has removed otherwise, it's taken it all away. So we have to put it back in somehow.
I worked in Sainsbury's over lockdown because I was like, I might as well. And it's the one in Sydenham. Shout out Lower Sydenham Sainsbury's. But they're all of the new employees were from the West End. So I was meeting people that were in Wicked, Book of Mormon, and I was like, I love the theatre and musical theatre. It was like it's a guilty pleasure, not a guilty pleasure, but like I do enjoy like the kind of pantomime aspect.
Yeah.
And then I'm just there like, oh, you're a kid, I can't believe it. And even recently started working in a pub, and the two lead guys, shout out Dom and Tom from Book of Mormon, have just started working there. I'm like, it's it's because the theatre was always at risk anyway. Like the arts sector has always been kind of at risk. So now really physically seeing the impact by meeting these West End stars that, like, you know, life has changed a lot.
Yeah, it's nice to see that people are able to find work, because there are plenty of people obviously that are still unemployed. So it's nice to at least see performers and friends are able to find something and to be doing something. But it's still a pretty dire situation for the theatre world. So it's anybody that loves it, I hope they know that it's in a bad way, bad shape, and any support is really valuable.
So back to Poster Boy, off track then. What is the main kind of aim, ethos behind the
well, the main thing really is supporting local creatives. We were really interested to see what sort of work is out there, what kind of things people produce, and we've been really, really surprised by what we've seen. There's so much amazing work that's it's a really nice thing to support, because what we've found is that if you encourage the kind of local businesses, local small creatives, they really drive a creative landscape. So if you encourage that, that's the stuff you like to buy. If you keep buying it, then it becomes more popular, and then you'll see it everywhere. So encouraging stuff that's interesting and new has a benefit for everybody, and we just wanted to keep that in mind. Support small, which is a great thing to do anyway, particularly when people are in these sort of weird situations where it might suddenly become their primary income. And also, we just wanted to encourage like creativity again. There's been so much of it when people are locked down and locked in their houses. People have gone out on a limb and decided, yeah, you know what, I am going to do that project, and actually helping that and supporting that is really important, because both Tal and I did do that. We both got involved in little arts and crafts and thought, you know what, actually, if other people need a bit of encouragement with this, we should give it to them, because we love it and we want to do it more. Yeah.
Just within like the market, what is on offer? Is there illustration? Is there jewelry? Is there?
Yeah, so we've probably got about 20 print artists on the walls, and all of that print work is it really ranges. There's some there's sort of like some graffiti style work. There's some stuff that's more kind of illustrative. That's a hard word to say. There's some really beautiful work. Tal herself does sort of these amazing, slightly like really, really lifelike. I forgot the word, but then kind of slightly animated from that, which is really colourful. We've got some kind of more black and white stuff. Yeah, a real kind of range of illustrative styles and print styles. And then we've got 3 jewellery artists, and that's like a different range of things as well. We've got, a couple of ceramicists which are doing like these brilliant little flower pots that look like little dogs or whales or something. And then this lady who's doing sort of stacking cups that have faces on, which are brilliant. A whole range of things. We've got some soaps, some candles, tote bags, t-shirts, a lot.
Something for everyone.
Yeah, I would hope so. And as a sort of, I mentioned to you actually before this, it's we're hoping to move it slightly away from a kind of cutesy arts and crafts. It's a little bit more contemporary. There's like a whole mix of everything, but it does aim to cover kind of a contemporary London audience. So yeah, there's a whole range of different things in there that hopefully lots of people will like.
I'm sure they will. What would you say was the biggest kind of challenge when kind of conceiving this idea, this project?
the first thing was working out how on earth to do this with social distancing, which at first kind of felt like a really huge roadblock, and we were a bit like, is this even a good idea anymore? Because having all the sellers in would mean that we wouldn't be able to have any people come in and buy anything. There'd be just too many people in the space. So getting around that was quite a hurdle, and working out that actually our best bet was to unfortunately remove a lot of the people that sell the work and create the work and sell the work themselves, but we're trying to represent them in a different way and make sure that they have their input to their plot. So they will be present in a sort of, they will be represented in a way, and we're trying to communicate with each and every artist ourselves so that we represent them well. But that in itself is quite a huge challenge, because 30 people is a lot of people to do that with. And then, yeah, I'd just say there's a million challenges that come with running a small business and starting one up. That in itself has been really tough, but really exciting. But yeah, just sort of finding your way through that is a lot.
You were saying before how you've had to kind of come up with a new format for this kind of market, this kind of showcase. It could be a format that then gets taken on, that you influence other people, because I haven't heard of any events like that restarting yet.
Yeah, there's been a huge move, I think, for arts and crafts markets to move online. So there's a lot of online markets now, which is a very obvious thing to do and still great, because it means that the sellers can represent themselves. But in terms of like in real life markets, there aren't very many to go to. So yeah, we don't want to seem like idiots, but we're going to go for it. We're going to put one in real life and just hope that people really respond well to that. And I think they will. We've had some positive feedback about it, but it definitely feels slightly trailblazy in that it's a slightly new setup, and not many other people are doing real life stuff yet.
It's exciting. You don't know until you try as well. Yeah. What would you say was the biggest positive that this has brought about?
This is going to sound like a really selfish thing to say, but validation, actually, that your ideas are sound and that people want to be involved with them. And like a big part of this for us is setting up an artist community. We're doing like little artist drinks and stuff, and everybody's got a chance, that everybody that's involved as a seller has got a chance to meet one another. And being a part of that is just really lovely. If you can't kind of, if that scenario isn't out there for you to get involved in, setting it up yourself is a tough thing to do, but is hopefully going to pay dividends. We're going to have a great new artistic community around us, and if we want to grow Posterboy in the future, hopefully we'll have this great pool of people to sort of draw on, and we'll have this experience to kind of move from. So yeah, the validation that your idea isn't just completely ludicrous is really nice. And as I say, there's been some lovely positive feedback, and to have the kind of caliber of artists involved, I'm just so excited by who's coming and who's selling with us, because it's all stuff I would love to have. So my bank account is bad now, and it's going to be worse at the end of it.
Do you see this as this could be a lifelong venture?
I would love it to be. Tal and I have both said at varying times, if this was our real life job, because I should say, we're sort of running this as a not-for-profit. Tal and I won't make anything out of this, but anything we do make goes into alcohol for the artist drinks, and into any sort of future Posterboy event. And it's made us realise that we both really enjoy doing this, and we would do it again. And if it were our full-time jobs, and if we could make a living from this, we would be two very happy people. It's really good fun. It's hard, but it's really engaging and really interesting. And I don't think I can ask much more from a job.
One of those things where with lockdown, it's kind of been like there's been some positives to come out of it, just from people being quite introspective, reflective, and kind of wondering what they would like to do in an
Yeah.
ideal world, and being like, well, at this point, might as well do it. What else is there?
Yeah, I think it's quite a scary thing that's happened because, as you say, it's forced people to really look back on in themselves and kind of go, am I doing what I really want to do? Am I able to do what I really want to do? And it's sort of that thing of, so many people I know have slightly been guilt tripped into having a go at things because they've got so much time, and they've kind of gone, okay, well now, what's my excuse? I've been saying I'll do this for years and I don't have an excuse anymore. And that was slightly what happened to Tal and I. We'd talked about doing markets before, and then we realised, oh, if we don't do it now, when else are you going to do it? And yeah, that is quite a scary process. And it's scary to sort of look in on yourself and go, well, what do I actually want to do? Because is now the time to make that leap? And I would hope that it's not been catastrophic.
Sounds like, I mean, putting on a whole event and figuring out how to take it like live and public and not like offline during a pandemic, like that's quite a big thing. The sourdough starter is hard, but you're putting on a whole event in.
I failed at the sourdough starter.
I gave up on mine. Definitely. With yourself personally, are you a creative? Are you an artist? Like, would your own work be in the show?
No. I am a very enthusiastic creative. I like to have a go at things. I put my hand to weaving during lockdown, but I'm not very good. So nothing I make would be for sale anywhere, but I think I'd say my skills are more kind of facilitating, and sort of appreciating people's hard work and how much time goes into creating something and building something yourself. So even though I'm no good at it myself, I can appreciate what other people do and hopefully help promote that.
Being a facilitator, producer, it's still a creative pursuit. It's just a different format.
Yeah, I think so. It's nice to be like this, like a creative and artistic environment is something that I definitely work well in. And Tal too, like she is a creator, but she does the same job as me. We both work in sort of arts work. So it's definitely a really great environment which we both work well in. But yeah, I could probably leave the pens and pencils to someone else.
Oh, I feel like I put you on the spot there.
It's fine.
Do you think, you say you come from like a stage manager background, do you think that will kind of help on the day, organising, keeping an eye on everything,
Yeah.
Do you have anyone else helping you, or is it just going to be you and Tal?
Yeah, if we've got a little band of people that actually are going to get a very nice email from me today saying, "Hey, you volunteered, you're doing it now." We will have hopefully a couple of people from the Crystal Palace area as well, which will be nice. I've got like a nice little group of friends around here that I'd love to chuck into Dalston for the weekend. But yeah, it's the stage management background is almost essential for this because it's a ridiculous task that we set ourselves, putting up this amount of work in one space in essentially a few hours. It helps to have a slightly organizational brain with it, but in terms of general planning of the day, it's going to be fairly essential, and we'll have loads of people to help us, I think, and a lot of goodwill.
When you say local artists, do you mean like South London local, London local, like how local is local?
Yeah. Well, we started doing a general call out for artists, and we got a few things back from there. I'd say it's kind of an all over mix actually. There's lots of people coming from all over the place, but it's sort of London centric. It's all focused around London artists for this time around. I think we have plans to expand, and that might broaden things out a bit, but certainly this time around, the local refers to this city. Not that we're saying anybody from outside of London shouldn't come along, but our artist pool for this first time has been London. But I think that's got more to do with us setting it up and starting something from scratch than it has to do necessarily with who we'd like to be involved. We've approached and had approaches from artists from Bristol, from Bath, from up in Leeds, and I would love to have had them involved. It's just that it's over a weekend and they've got to drop their art off at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I don't think it ended up being a sort of non-starter. But I think, yeah, the kind of support local aspect of it will be eventually, if this goes any bigger, will be a kind of support all small artists and small creators. But at the moment, it's local to London.
I guess with travel restrictions as well, it's kind of a task to have to ask someone to come from further afield, like if they're not comfortable, or
yeah.
There's always a thing with like I've worked in different kind of production companies and stuff, and they're always trying to stop it from being so London centric. But when it's your hometown and it's your city, kind of like, why not?
Yeah. Well, I think both of us love living in the city. We both have lived here for a long time now, and I don't know, I feel quite inspired by the things that city folk do. I really enjoy kind of the art scene in London. So it seemed like a perfect springboard to start with. But we, as I say, have grand designs to expand this and to get the ball rolling and spread it out a little bit so it's a bit more inclusive of all sorts of other places around the UK. That would be a tall order, I think, for Poster Boy round 1.
The next step, the next stage.
Yeah.
So can you remind us when and where Poster Boy London round 1 will be?
It will be on the 26th and 27th of September, so a month from now, in Dalston. So it's right opposite Dalston Junction Station. It's a space called VSMT Space. Yeah, right opposite Dalston Junction, right on the Kingsland Road. And yeah, we'll be there for the 2 days, and we'll be kicking off at 12 on the Saturday. So yeah, if anybody feels like they want to come down, do introduce yourselves to us. We love meeting people and seeing what people are about. So if anybody has any desire to maybe join in the future, come and say hello.
And how would people get in touch or find out more if they're thinking, do you have an Instagram?
We do. So yeah, we've got an Instagram account, and we're constantly responding to things on that. So we're in instagram.com/postboylondon/ all one word. And yeah, that gives you a good idea of the kind of work we're displaying as well. We've got pictures of most of our artists up now. We're doing introductions of each of them. So I think there's only a few more to go, but you can have a kind of a browse through, see what's there, see who's with us, and yeah, get a little bit more information about what our aims are and who Tal and I are and what Poster Boy is about. We're also on Facebook and Twitter as well.
There we go. Anyone watching, definitely check it out, online or offline, next month. I think we'll finish there. Yeah.
Great. Thank you
for coming on to the show.
No,
exciting. I think I'll definitely be coming.
Yeah, do. It will be lovely to see people.
Put the face to the Zoom.
Yeah.
Right, so if you would like to join us, like Laura, on this library live lunch, then please get in touch. We've got the email in the comments, I believe, down below to the side, wherever it will be. We've got the All Alone Together project happening at the library at the moment, which is a project about what we've all been doing over lockdown. So please join in. You can access that from the library's website. If you have any tech issues, Clear Community Web is here to help. That information is also in the comments. If you just need any digital support of what you can do in lockdown, I don't know, like if you want to start live streaming, if you want to figure out how to use Zoom, they are there to help you. And we also have our campaign, so the donation bar should be here, but you can text and donate towards the Library Hub and help us continue on with these live shows. Right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.